You think you've got my number figured out? A motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Tuesday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Tuesday. Welcome, everybody. Michael Hassler, welcome. Moanep, welcome. Heat, how's it going? Nice time to start. Ha. It's 420 somewhere. It's 420 in the Central Time Zone. There you go. All right, folks. Yeah. Stuff's not any better. I'm afraid. Stuff's not any better. Damn it, why didn't you fix it? I apologize. It's my fault. Hey, hey! 420 and 421, anytime is fun. True. Welcome. Good to see you both here. Yeah, unfortunately, I was not able to fix fascism. So that one's on me. That one's on me. I apologize. End of the world party? Yeah, basically. that's what this is, essentially. Omega Star, welcome. All right, folks, let's get started because yeah, let's just get through this because I'm just gonna speed run through all of this, and I'm just gonna speed run through all of this and call it. Sammy, welcome. Bad Lefty. And of course, before I get started, thank you all for being here. Once again, I appreciate you guys. Your support is what makes this channel go, so I appreciate it. A huge thank you to Wolfglen for gifting out 25 subs yesterday, and Eager for gifting out 5 subs yesterday. I appreciate it. You guys are really makes this channel go. Thank you. Yeah, there was a lot. Like there was, I think total was like 31 subs. Like at the end of the day. At the end of the day. Omega Star, look at that, subscribing. Thank you so much, hopping on the Twitch. Yeah, based. Like that is massive, okay? That is massive. We are a tiny but mighty channel, okay? We are a tiny but mighty channel. And I really do appreciate that. Thank you. If you want to do, if you want to support the channel, keep doing what you're doing. And spread the word, folks. One of the best ways of doing so is spreading the word. We're here Monday through Thursday around 5 p.m. Eastern time. Spread the word, bring a friend, lend me your eyeballs. Join the Discord if you want to keep up with the channel. If you want to support the channel directly, you can also check out the merch store and the exclamation mark tip. I appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the Substack and all that. Thank you. Charlie, welcome. That comment got me. I don't know. Like YouTube is like that. YouTube is like that. Cat, B Cat, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Now that we got everyone here, more or less, let's get started, folks. We gotta get this. We gotta get through this, folks, because if not, my energy's not gonna make it. Also, folks, next Thursday, I believe, the 24th. The 24th, I will not be here. So make a note of that, folks. I'll make the usual announcement, but next Thursday I will not be here. I'm going on a Zoom call with Zoran Mamdi this Sunday. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, a week from Thursday. Yes, hit the like button. Also, ADT, yo, welcome. Only 5 days until Trump declares martial law. I guess we'll have. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. Eager welcome. What is up, losers? Well, I thought we were winning. I've decided there's no funnier time to go to China, so I'm going on June 8th. Well, I would definitely recommend to just be careful. Just be careful. I'm watching my language the same way I'm watching wrestling. Later. Enjoy. Kirkenstein's monster. Yeah, Gestapo's definitely gonna have some questions for me when I get off. Yeah, I mean, like, definitely I would just be careful. Just know that. Nah, it's IRRC. IRHCC, welcome. Skywalking Dragon, welcome. I think you meant to say China. The tread on me, the don't tread on me boys are going to be really confused when he declares martial law. They think it's a good thing. It's necessary. Fascism requires you to have fascism requires you to have the ability to simultaneously hold contradictory logic. Do you think he's declaring martial law? I have no idea. Nothing's off the table at this point. Nothing is off the table. What's the point of even staying in the U.S.? Because this is our friggin' home, okay? The fascists can go. They don't have to be here. Like, why should I have to leave? Trump isn't a fascist, yet just a nationalist, authoritarian. I have news. I have news. I have news about what that means. I have news about what that means. I have one cousin who's a Canadian citizen, so I have an out, but I'm not leaving just yet. I mean, like, look, I don't blame people for wanting to leave, and I don't blame people for making exit plans, especially those who are particularly at risk. Like, for example, for example, trans people and particularly brown people, Latino people like myself, who seem to be like the primary targets of this administration. If you're an immigrant and you look brown or have a brown looking name, you are at risk. I get it. Okay, I get it. If you are trans, you are at risk. I get it. If you want to leave, I don't blame you. I understand. It's good to see there's some fight left in the American people. I was pretty annoyed yesterday when I saw him talking about we need more prisons to deport citizens, and then chats. Yeah, I completely like, you know, there is more of us than there are of them. Keep calm and don't promote violence resistance when they are literally talking about disappearing a large portion of people at this rate, it seems. Yesterday's firestar chat with dictator Bukele was infuriating. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's not going to stop. Okay, he's not going to stop. It's not going to stop at undocumented people. It's not going to stop at documented people. He said so that he wants to send citizens too, and to build more concentration camps to hold these people. That guy, I don't know, he annoys me so much. Who, Bukele? Yeah, I know. He's got such a redacted face that you just want to, like, redact. Homegrown means born in the U.S. Yeah, he's talking about citizens. Sasha G, welcome. Right, first they came for it. Yeah, and it's not going to stop. Yeah, like, it's not like literally, like, unironically, like, this is not even an exaggeration. Like, this is like 1930s Germany stuff happening here. Like, I'm not exaggerating. In fact, like, I'm underselling the situation. Okay? Like, seriously, what would you say? What would you call a country that has a president that is openly, like, defying laws is openly defying the highest court of the land, and there's no checks and balances here. The Congress that's supposed to act as a check is not doing its job. It's just complicit. The opposition party is just like not really there. Like, what would you call a country like that? You'd say it's a banana republic. You'd say it's a dictatorship. You say it's an authoritarian regime. Yeah, Bukele guy is a total snake, terrible injustice, and dictator imprisoning people and torturing them to death in the name of doing good nonetheless. Yeah, I mean, like, he thinks he's doing good. He's saying that he's doing good, but that's not what's happening here. Dan anonymously, welcome. It's objectively authoritarian. Right. It's probably all those things. Yeah, exactly. And it's happening here. You know, there was a video a long time ago from Beau of the Fifth Column, okay? And this was years ago. And the video was titled, "It Can Happen Here." And I believe that was during the first Trump administration. I can't remember when he put out that video. But it can happen here. It is happening here. I'd call that a Second Amendment time, but yeah, that's scary. Yeah, and the people, it's funny because like the people who are so pro Second Amendment and who constantly cite that this is for like overthrowing a tyrannical government is now faced with a tyrannical government and now is on their side. Like, explain to me how that came about. All I can say is even those things are pretty freaking scary now. It's great to have like-minded folks to gather here. Yeah, that's how we survive. So when the biggest gangster takes over and arrests half the country in El Salvador, it's celebrated, but when it happens in Haiti or anywhere that isn't fascist, it's total chaos and disaster. Right. The U.S. is completely fascist at this point. Trump said he would be a dictator on day one and never actually said when he was going to stop. Well, he claimed he just needed to be a dictator for one day, but like we all know like that's not how dictatorship works, right? Like there's no way that a dictator would release power after day one, right? Like that's not how a dictatorship works. There's no dictator that would be like, I just need to be, I'll fix everything, okay? Everything is gonna be fixed on day one. I just need to be a dictator and have unilateral control of everything just on day one. And like that's all it's gonna be. Okay, just one day. Okay, wait, just 1 week. Okay, just 1 week. Look, all we need is 4 months. Okay, look, all I need is another term, because you know they cheated on my second term, so I just need a redo over. So that's another term. Well, you know, actually, there's no scenario where a dictator is only a dictator for one day. That's not like how that works. He said it only on day one. Yeah, he only needs to be dictator like on for on day one. That's it. You're kidding, girls. Way too much obeying in advance going on. That's also true. As long and there's no opposition really. Not much. Like the opposition is literally like The opposition is an octogenarian trying to rally people across the country in a fight the oligarchy tour with AOC. Like that's literally like the opposition as far as like politicians go. Bold of you to assume he can read. He also never read Project 2025. Right. The outrage fatigue is insanity, and insanity of the descent into authoritarianism is a lot, but seeing Bernie's rallies about wealth inequality and the Pew Research shows 65% of Democrats under 50 oppose Israel is refreshing. I mean, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying, but, like, also, like, it's Bernie Sanders. Like, why is it Bernie Sanders, an octogenarian, like, again, being, like, on the older side? Like, this is literally, like, the leader of the resistance right now as far as politicians go. rallying people together with like AOC. Like that's wild to me. I have a little hope that people will rise up. I mean, like, if it keeps, okay, so the avenues in which to fix this using the institutions that are still there are all but gone. Does that make sense? Like, that's it. The Supreme Court being ignored after a unanimous decision was supposed to be like that institutional fix. Right? Like, that is the highest court of the land. Right? Like, what the Supreme Court says is like, that's it. There's no other avenue after the Supreme Court. And if the president is openly defying the Supreme Court after a unanimous decision, if there's no congressional oversight, okay, the means and avenues to resolve this with the institutions are all but gone. But the spirit is there among the people. Oh, I don't. No, that's true. I'm not. Just to be clear, I'm not like nailing Bernie Sanders. I'm actually praising him. I'm actually praising him. It's okay. Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries will save us. Yeah, I'm sure they'll send very strongly worded letters about the constitutional rights that are currently being destroyed. I'm sure. The court has no police for or army, though? Right. I'm with him. Right. Like, they have marshals. They have, like, marshals, but, like, that's about it. Cory Booker will write a strongly worded letter about how this affects Israel. Well, I mean, like, that's a lot of the Democrats. I'm sorry. Rose spoke for 24 hours and 25 hours didn't mention the abductions. What an opposition party. What's the point of a president when the judge can overrule? Because this place has checks and balances? What country do you think we live in? Because this country was founded on the ideas of checks and balances? What are you talking about? A president doesn't have unilateral authority. You do realize that, right? Oh, God bless you. You're not going to last very long here. I'm sorry. My patience is thin, okay? Like, what do you mean, what's the point of a president when the judge can overrule them? Yeah, that's exactly the point of the judiciary. What do you think the judiciary is here for? To look pretty? The courts do have the U.S. Marshal Service, and judge can deputize additional marshals if needed to carry out orders. Yeah, but, like, I mean... that's it. Like, that's it. Are we gonna have, like, armed, like, guards against each other? But then the judge is basically the president? Nope! Try again. That's literally not how... Like, okay, so you understand the concept of checks and balances, right? You do realize that the president doesn't have unilateral authority, right? Like, you know that, right? Like, Congress can impeach a president. Congress can impeach a president. Judges can declare laws and executive orders unconstitutional. They interpret the law. Like, you know that this is how that works, right? The actual issue is jurisdiction rather than just a judge halting federal policy. Donald Duck. I think they're after my Gatorade. It's what the ants crave. Switzerland has a way better federal system than the U.S., but we're not Switzerland, okay? We have a rogue president who's like literally thinking that he has unilateral authority. Since I'm pretty sure the Judicial Act of 1805 lays out the court system. I mean, like, yeah, but like, there's no like debate here as to what's going on as far as like what the separation of powers are here. The only people that have umbrage with this is the Trump administration, who thinks that they should be allowed to just do whatever the heck they want, right? Like, that's the only people that have umbrage with this. Everyone else is pretty much understanding of like what the situation is, right? Like, the Trump administration is in court trying to fight its argument, saying that we have unilateral authority to deport this person, and the court is saying no, you have to give due process, and they're saying no, you don't. And the Supreme Court is like, okay, well, you need to facilitate this person's return because they need due process. Like, that's the end of this. Why did the people vote for Trump then? Look, bro, try again. Like that. Why? Even if every single person in this country, okay, even if every person in this country voted for Trump, what makes like the destruction of due process good or okay or legal? This is so ridiculous. I don't care if like 300 million people voted for Trump, okay? They don't have the power to strip people of due process and ship them off to a concentration camp. Period. People come in here every day and say, why can't the president make decisions? And you respond with a full argument, and every time they say, well, why did he win then? Like, who cares? I don't care if like, those things are not related. Yeah, like, I don't care, like, if they won, like, with an overwhelming majority. I don't care if every single person voted for Trump. It doesn't mean that they can unilaterally deport people without due process. It's like strictly like unconstitutional. It's written there that you have to give people due process. It's literally right there. This guy's talking about Switzerland. True. Well, they don't have that authority. They believe they're entitled to a second hearing due to them effing up and violating withholding order. Otherwise, the due process threshold was met in 2019 when the withholding order and deportation order remained with a fork in cars. The usual like 5-day notice with a chance to respond. Yeah, I mean, like, and because of that, like. And because of that, he should not be in a concentration camp in El Salvador, right? They technically could, but they would have to change the constitution. Right. Like, they would have to, like, literally change the constitution, right? Like, you can't just ignore the constitution. That's not how this works. And if you do, then you're acting on unilateral, like, authority, which he does not have. So, yeah. No, he shouldn't. They usually send people with holding orders to a third party, like Honduras. Right, which that shouldn't happen either, by the way. Like, that shouldn't happen. Like, he literally he was literally seeking asylum because he was trying to run away from the gang violence, and now they put him in the same place with all the gangs. So, like, that shouldn't be happening either. You know what I mean? Like, look, the administration, like, was very clear. Like, they said that they made a mistake. There's no evidence to suggest that this man should have been in a concentration camp in El Salvador. Okay? The Republicans have literally no aura, less than Nazis. The Nazis, surely there's some way out of this. Oof. You would think so, man. This is like, I don't know. I don't even know. He has a green card and married to a U.S. citizen. Also, like, they literally took a 19-year-old kid, okay, and shipped them off to the concentration camp, too. Because he was brown, okay? That's it. That's the level that we're dealing with, okay? And it's not going to stop, okay? If no one can say no to these people, it's not going to stop. If they can openly defy the Supreme Court after a 9-0 decision, it's not going to stop, okay? Yeah, he was taking his kid to daycare when they grabbed him. Yes. They will be doing this to citizens too. Yes. Yes, they are. And given the 5-day notice and chance to respond prior to the execution of the deportation. Yeah, he had a no deportation order. Like, he was not supposed to be deported. The administration said that he should not have been deported. Like, this isn't, like, up for debate. They literally said, oopsies, our bad. Like, there is no reason why he should have been deported. Like, zero reason. He had a withholding order to El Salvador, not a removal restriction in general. If you were to be deported, the order said anywhere in the world except El Salvador. No, like, he literally it said he was deported due to a administrative mistake. The lawyers for the Department of Justice said that this was a big oopsies, okay? Like, that's what they said. That's not me making this up. That's what they said. He's from El Salvador, but he should have never been deported. Right. He should have never been deported. They literally said it was a mistake. Like, there's no, like, that's it. There's no, like, if, and, or buts about it. He literally should not have been deported. End of story. Like, period. Yeah, and they are wrong. Did they not read the 2019 reports? Dude, they don't care. That's my point. They don't care. This is a fascist regime. They don't care. The facts of the matter don't matter. Does that make sense? This is fascism. They don't care. It could have been spelled out in black and white, in big, bold letters. They don't care. They snatched up a 19-year-old kid who was not even, like, they were not even after the kid. And they snatched him up and put him on the plane. I thought he was from Venezuela. No, he was from El Salvador. No, he was from El Salvador. The kid from 19, the 19-year-old kid was from Venezuela. These people are insufferable. They are, and they're fascists, and they don't care. And they will come after citizens too. This is not like this is not like new. This is not new because, like, we've seen history. If anything, like, we know what happens when authoritarian regimes like this come into power. We know what happens. This isn't like news. To quote an old Maddox Street Preacher song, if you tolerate this, the children will be next, and will be next, and will be next. Yes. Looney Tunes, welcome. We are in the early stages, still 4 more years of this shit. This feels like it's already been 4 years. They don't understand they also on the list of potential issues to be deported.
is the Washington Post. People know that in the morning I listen to the AP News at the top and the bottom of the hour just to get a sense of what normies hear. And as far as everyone's reporting, I don't know if everybody's reporting it this way, but AP is that the tariffs were paused, except for China, who we now have a 100, and I think I misspoke. I think I said 125, but it went up because China fought back.
How dare they?
Don't struggle. Don't struggle.
Just take it. Just take it. Don't be a real E. Jean Carroll about this.
I would be 35 by now. Oh man, no, don't say that, because then that kind of makes me feel like I should be. Never mind. I'm not gonna say my age that much. Yeah, the Holocaust didn't start with gas chambers. That's right. I don't know if term times are a thing, but these days I suspect Trump dies in office the old-fashioned system. I mean, he's not in the best of health, you know? Thank you for the new subscribers on the YouTube. Exactly what the procedure that was supposed to be used, and they wanted to legally execute the deportation order against him, but they chose to defy the high court, disregard procedure, and continue. Right, that's the point. The whole point is to make sure that the procedure doesn't matter, because that's that's correct. The whole point of doing that is to lay down the groundwork to say, well, there is no procedure except the one we say, and that means that that anyone here is game. If you are a United States citizen, you are not safe. You are just as liable to find yourself in a concentration camp in El Salvador, just as this a person was. I doubt that he makes it 4 years, but I also doubt Vance will want to try the electorate. Who knows? Because that's supposed to be the person who succeeds him, right? Because we know that Trump is not going to be alive forever, right? Like, the whole point of Trump is to kind of lay down that, is to destroy everything now, right? Wreck everything and anoint the next successor, right? Before he checks out, because he's old and he's not exactly in great health. According to Trump's doctor, he's in perfect health, but on 3 cholesterol medications. Pinnacle of health. Now I'm graduating college. Look at that. Nice. It's so great to see such a variance in age in our viewership. True. ADT, how did you hear about Victor Perez? No. You can give me a TLDR. Oh, you sent me a message. Give me a second. Jet, welcome. Oh, that is so sad. Welcome, Jet. 6'3" and weighs 224. All muscle, by the way. So this is the story that they were that May Wormy was talking about. Autistic Self-Advocacy Network calls for the end to police violence after cops killed autistic Latino teen Victor Perez. 17-year-old non-speaking autistic Latino child Victor Perez with intellectual disability and cerebral palsy. On the night of April 5th, police were called to his house in Pocatello, Idaho, and saw Victor in the front yard holding a knife. A disturbing video of the shooting shows police officer approaching a fenced yard with guns ready. Within 20 seconds of arriving, and despite the fence between them, Victor, police shot him 9 times, and he was sent to the hospital in critical condition, where doctors had to amputate one of his legs because of his injuries. Over the past week, Victor's family announced that a test shown he had no brain activity, and he was taken off life support and passed away. Our hearts are with Victor's family and community, who all are reeling in the wake of this tragedy. In spite of how quickly police opened fire and the fact that there was a barrier between them, Pocatello's police chief insisted that the threat to the police officers was immediate and justified the shooting. Of course. Of course. Victor Perez's local community has been protesting at the police station, calling attention to the fact that Pocatello officers did not attempt to use de-escalation techniques. Sure, why not? Because, you know, this, especially now in this day and age, like, all you have to hear is that there is a Latino male with a knife, and, like, that's it, you know? Yeah, Hamas and MS-13. Hassan has maintained that the culture of policing makes police a threat to disabled people in the U.S., especially disabled people of color like Victor Perez. 100%. It teaches police officers to immediately take control of any situation using lethal force. I mean, like, literally, all they heard was, like, Latino male knife, and, like, that's it. That's it. Disabled people may not be able to immediately comply with police demands. As we saw in this case, police can respond to even a delay in obeying an order with deadly violence. Too often, police see any person acting unusual as a danger to them and the public. This is why autism training for police officers are not the solution to police violence against autistic people. An hour of learning about autism cannot overcome months of training that teaches police that in uncertain situations, the first thing they should do is escalate force and exert control. There have been cases where police have been through autism-specific training that still went to shoot and kill autistic people that they were called to help. Yeah, I mean, like, this reminds me of the story of the a black autistic. Oh no, wait. The caretaker for the black autistic person was shot, or was it the autistic person that was shot? This was a while ago. By police, and literally the only thing that they had in their hands was a toy. They had a toy in their hands, and that was enough. Right, when your only tool is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Exactly. This is it. So terrible. This is going to get worse. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Cop violence is so infuriating. It is. "17 years old. And the legal system and police union which support it is even worse." Yep. We also urge the general public to think twice about calling the police, especially on a disabled person of color. Victor Perez did not call the police. Family did not call the police and maintained they could have worked through the situation without police intervention. A neighbor who saw Victor with a knife in his front yard called the police, leading to disastrous consequences. There's so many ways to deal with conflicts without risking anyone's life or health by calling the cops. You can start by learning more about alternatives to policing and get to know your neighbors, community, and local resources. This is so freaking, like, disgusting, man. And these are, like, the stories that these are the stories that we hear about and we know about. You know? Do you know who Jackson Hinkle is? Unfortunately, I do. Unfortunately, I do.
So here is the Washington Post. People know that in the morning I listen to the AP News at the top and the bottom of the hour.
Do you think he has ties to, still has ties to Tulsi Gabbard? I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? He probably does. But, like, that's not the only issue with Jackson Hinkle. Pokey, Prickle, and Goo. Yeah, welcome. Jackson, is it Jason Hinkle? Jackson Stinkle? Whatever. Our country is finished. Oh, that's been all right. As far as I'm concerned, like America as a concept is done. Okay, like America as a concept, like it's done. We had a great run, everybody. Like congratulations, like 200 and something years. Like all right, cool. GG's, everybody. GG's. GG's, everybody.
Just to get a sense of what normies here. And as far as everyone's reporting, I don't know if everybody's reporting it this way, but AP is that the tariffs were paused, except for China, who we now have a 100, and I think I misspoke. I think I said 125, but it went up because China fought back.
How dare they?
Don't struggle. Don't struggle.
Just take it. Just take it. Don't be a real E. Jean Carroll about this whole thing.
It's 145% now.
Yeah.
And we still have on Canada and Mexico 25% rates. So you'll notice that there was to the extent that there was a pause, the pause really just happened with places like Japan, Vietnam, South Korea, Taiwan, and a ton of other countries. But the pause was just down to 10%. And so if you average the effective rate of all the tariffs placed on goods coming into this country, and again, Canada and Mexico are our biggest trading partners, and then China, you'll notice that the increases with China and the maintenance of the 25% on Mexico and Canada.
Jesus Christ, Quinlaw. Violet Quinlaw. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. Jeez. What the F? Joe Biden's making a speech right now. Yeah, I believe the speech is about Social Security. I believe he's making a speech about Social Security, which... Okay. Look, Social Security is incredibly important, okay? But, like, I think we have bigger problems, okay? Like, I'm not saying that Social Security being destroyed is, like, minimal. It's just, like, there's so much stuff that's going on. And while, again, that's important, I mean, like, we've got to freaking focus, man. Does that make sense? Like, we've got to freaking focus. Like, what Steve Bannon said about flooding the zone. Like, this is what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about, right? Like, flood the zone by, like, destroying and putting, like, so many fires out that you're just trying to respond to everything while like, the real stuff is happening. Like, for example, advancing, like, fascism. Like, that's what needs to be talked about. As far as, like, our capabilities of trying to keep up with everything. I think it's a strategy. I mean, like, yeah, sure, it's not bad to talk about the problem with destroying Social Security and blaming the Republicans for destroying Social Security, but, like, you get what I'm saying, right? Flood the zone, outrage fatigued, tariffs that don't matter compared to the attack on due process and the First Amendment. Right, like, they'll say, like, tariffs now, no tariffs, some tariffs, okay, but, like, all the tariffs, but, like, now, like, you, now you have, like, no tariffs. Who cares? I don't know. You know what? Like, maybe you can have your cheap electronic treats, okay? It's all, like, it's all, like, part of it, right? It's all part of it. When he ignores the courts, when he tells Congress how to do funding, he's breaking down the pillars. 100%. The Democrats have Project 1965. The Republicans have Project 2025. I mean, cheap electronic treats. Yeah. We'll take the blame for Social Security. Due process is the most pressing issue right now, but what percentage of Americans even know what due process is? Clearly not enough, because there's an uncomfortable amount of people saying things like criminals don't have due process. What? So yeah, an uncomfortable amount of people don't know what due process is. Yes.
You will notice that the effective rate is actually higher than it was. So there's this sort of like game that's being played. Now,
and also, like, Europe and stuff aren't acting like this is over. Like, von der Leyen, who's the leader of the EU's trade representative, is saying we might start having to tax, like, ad revenue for the tech companies in the U.S. and stuff like that, because this is serious. It's not far from over.
They also, in the EU, they started taking meetings with China about purchasing their cars. I think that was reported earlier this week. Yeah, there was a meeting between the Chinese premier and that guy von der Leyen. So this is a woman.
We're just at the beginning of this, and it's just because the stock market rebounded briefly, where apparently everybody thinks, oh, we're back to normal. We will see increased prices, and to the extent that we don't, to the extent that we may not see,
right. Otherwise, it's like calling people a witch, right? Like, the guy. By the way, the reason why, Kilmar Humberto, oh my God, I'm gonna butcher his name, Garcia, Abrego Garcia, Kilmar Abrego Garcia was roped up was because he had a Chicago Bulls hoodie. Okay, that's what they said. That was like, oh yeah, Chicago Bulls hoodie, gang affiliated. Let's go.
A big bump in inflation, it would only be because the economy is grinding to a halt and demand is crashing. Because people are going to be laying people off. Job numbers are going to start getting bad. People aren't going to be building as much. Job numbers are going to be bad. People are not going to make any purchases at the moment because they're a little concerned where things are going. And in the midst of all that, Jesse Waters says, why can't Democrats be patriots?
Why is everybody putting up with ads like it's 2010? Like, it's 2025, guys. Just use Pi. This Chrome extension takes 5 seconds to set.
Okay, Jesse, they say it's stock manipulation.
It is, but go on. Arrest Michael Jordan. I mean, like, seriously, like, literally, like, I'm not kidding. I had to call my dad and tell him to remove that Nike Jumpman logo off his truck, because if he was ever stopped, like, that would be enough. Okay? That would be enough. There's so much fraud in the government that exactly 0 people have been charged with fraud. True. How efficient, man. How efficient Elon Musk is that he's been able to find, like, 0 fraud. Wow, congratulations to Elon Musk. Social Security is too far gone to be fixed, but don't worry, I will save you with the help of Elon Musk. Anybody heard of him? He's a genius. It'd be so great you wouldn't even believe it. Soon enough, they'll start sticking stickers on people's vehicles and using it as an excuse. I mean, cops plant drugs. Cops plant drugs on people all the time. So yeah, you know. But I mean, it doesn't even have to be that sophisticated, right? Like, you know, it doesn't have to be that sophisticated. They can just literally say that you are a gang member, and like, who's gonna tell you no, right? Like, without due process, who's gonna tell you no? Drunk Judge Janine, so just Judge Janine, yeah. Jank just said on TYT that Khalil was an illegal immigrant and deserved to be deported, but not to El Salvador. Jank could, like, with all due disrespect, okay? Like, Jank, with all due disrespect, can go F himself, okay? I mean, like, that is a gross thing to say. That is a gross thing to say. Number one, he had a no deport order, okay? No, they admitted that he was not supposed to be deported anywhere, okay? Number two, he was fighting for asylum because he was fleeing gang violence, right? I mean, like, he had a family here. Okay, this is not somebody who should have been deported. They want to replace every important job with AI, allowing corporations to fire as much of their workforce as possible, while cutting regulations and access to healthcare. How does this create jobs? You know, it doesn't, but okay, they claim whatever they have to claim, and the people believe it. Jank does need to go. Does Jank realize he's not on the team? I don't know, man. Like, Jank, the team that Jank's on is like the money, okay? The money team, okay? Wherever the money is where you're gonna find Jank. Okay, that's like my that's my personal opinion. Okay, that's my personal opinion. Okay? He knows where the money is. There you go. Ding, 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 ding. Bingo, bango.
Stock manipulation when Trump says at 9:17 in the morning, you know, everybody buy, and it isn't until 4 hours later that he takes the pause.
I mean, Nancy
Pause it
got
for a
filthy
second.
rich,
Now,
and
wait a
now they
second.
wanna
This
look-
is not even the reason why we wanted to do this, but I will tell you how stock manipulation works. Stocks go down. Trump signals, I'm about to do something. And for those of you in the know, now's the time
This is
to
the
buy.
sign you're waiting for.
Yes.
Buy. Like, what?
I mean, we see this with pump and dumps with crypto all the time. There's that brief period where the insiders know it's time to make the money.
We see it with Nancy Pelosi. When you follow her portfolio, you
100%.
make a bunch of money because she's in the know. Insider trading is how they play.
She's, I think, arguing like, well, how is it a scheme if he told everybody?
Right, right. But the point is that you saw those purchases minutes before the public announcement.
Well,
And he was saying that sort of like.
but
buy
even
before.
still, but buy. I mean, he's not going to.
Pause it. How many wine bottles do you have under that desk, Janine? Yes. They think they'll let Jank stay, but maybe that's part of his calculation. The team fired Jank, and he keeps insisting on showing up and pissing in the Gatorade. True.
Call up everybody he's gonna say like,
Hey, Charles, I didn't know you were a real guy. I thought you were
Hey.
a company.
listen, watch my feeds, do what I say, okay? That's how you do it.
Yes.
That's how you do it.
But not
Go
insider
ahead,
trading,
go
though.
back to that.
Manipulation when Trump says at 9:17 in the morning, you know, everybody buy, and it isn't until 4 hours later that he takes the pause.
I mean, Nancy got filthy rich, and now they want to look at stock manipulation. Come on. The Democrats are mad when the market goes down, and then they're mad when the market goes up. You just can't.
Yeah, that's bad too, man. Like, Nancy Pelosi getting rich on insider information, because it's not okay. Like, we're not please don't insult our intelligence, okay? We're not stupid, okay? You can see the percentage of how good and how well these members of Congress have done in their investments versus like how someone like a normal investor, okay, does. And they do unusually well, okay? People like Nancy Pelosi do unusually well. And that is because she knows. And she knows what she's doing. It's obvious, right? Like, Jesse Waters not stupid, let's be real here. Nancy's a problem, but still. Yeah, no doubt about it. But like, he's not interested in holding Trump to the same standard.
Can't win with these people. Is he caving to China? Is he too tough on China? I wish the Democrats would just help us out for once. This is about economic patriotism. This is about national security. And the Democrats have to just criticize everything this guy does. Oh, he blinked. Wait a second. I thought you wanted him to lower tariffs. Now you're going to investigate him for lowering tariffs? Doesn't make any sense.
Also, these are the same people. These are the same people that made like an entire stink about a tan suit. Okay? These are the same people that made like wall-to-wall coverage about a tan suit. Okay? So no, he's not. First of all, he's not being investigated for lowering tariffs. He's being investigated for trying to manipulate markets. Makoki, welcome. We're just investing like patriots. Trump has removed the image of the U.S. as a stable, secure democracy and built image of a tin-pot dictatorship. Yep. Does anyone like Jesse? Not even his own mom does, if I remember correctly. Ha. Also from found on over Xbox chat because of trans rights. And yes, they take this guy super serial. Yeah, I mean, like, these are the same people. The same people.
The president came out addressing reporters on Thursday, and he was wearing this tan suit.
President Obama's decision to wear a light tan suit at yesterday's news conference. He was wearing a tan suit.
Light tan suit.
The same people, by the way.
Shocking to a lot of people. Is this an effort to make him look warmer?
The same people, by the way, that are complaining right now.
No way, I think any of us can excuse what the president did yesterday. I mean, and then for him to walk out. I'm not trying to be trivial here, but in a light suit. Light tan suit.
Also known as Tangate.
Tan suit, and how the tan suit made him look unpresidential.
Whoever talked him into going into a tan suit, they're so desperate because of these low poll numbers, they're willing to do anything.
The tan suit made him look unpresidential.
Yeah, and it's like a cut to Reagan. That's actually pretty genius. But like, yeah, this is the same people who are complaining now. The Ukrainian president should start wearing tan suits. But her emails.
They say that this is going too quickly.
Okay, hold pause it for a second.
Well, you do it.
Pop up the he didn't lower tariffs.
Early lies from fake news channels circa 2008. Biden's glazing himself so hard right now. I mean, like, whatever, you know, I mean, he should be like focusing on like why we're here in the first place. But, you know.
He didn't lower tariffs. He didn't lower tariffs. In fact, it
He's alive,
crept up
though. I guess.
after the pause. the average tariff rate was 0.2% higher.
And all those countries in gray are having closer relationships with China after this. So that 10% we're seeing with like Japan, Vietnam, South Korea, Taiwan, we'll see what what happens to that in 90 days.
And this says nothing about the effect on the bond market, which is the real issue destabilizing our entire economy. Like, he's basically caused a mass sell-off of U.S. Treasury bonds, which is the underpinning of our financial system.
Jermaine struggled for years with dental issues before finally finding Nuvia. Listen to what he wanted most after his smile makeover.
The way they want to do it, maybe you go 5% tariff, 10% tariff, 15% tariff, and it just never gets anywhere. And our allies never race to negotiate. And then that's an actual trade war. They'll just sit back and they'll raise their tariffs, and then we get nothing. Trump has to do this fast. He's up against the midterms. He's term limited. We think he's term limited.
He is.
So the only way to get this done is shock therapy, and it's already getting results.
It's not, but okay. You can move the captions like that, and no? Yeah, I can move the captions to make it a little easier. That's true, Kunlo. Need to. Apparently, YouTube thinks I do.
What results have we gotten? You had some people. I'm sure some people sold off their pension holdings because they were worried. So a bunch of people
made $1 billion.
Results.
It's the results in that respect.
He delivers for the American person.
There's no results. There's no results. There's absolutely no result. First of all, not only is there no results, we don't even know what the goals are. Because 4 weeks ago, the goal was to raise $600 billion a year. And that way we don't need an income tax. And then 2 weeks ago, it was like, we're going to build American industry. And then it was, we're just going to make it through this. We're going to negotiate.
They're negotiations. They're also a way to generate revenue. They're also a way for Donald Trump to get some phone calls. What is the, there's no stated purpose that they're saying that he delivered on. So that's kind of what is helpful.
They've never
to Donald
defined
Trump.
success.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, that's the carrot and the stick, right? Like, no, don't worry. Like, we'll make, we'll solve all of Germany's, excuse me, the United States problems. Okay, don't worry. Economic relief is coming. Don't worry, it's coming. I want that music to play every time DYT, Fox, Newsmax, OAN, Pacman, and mainstream media lie to you. Yeah, I also love that Emma finally got a soundboard. She's going to be a menace. True.
Can't define it. The success is just Trump existing.
I was in the news a lot, so bingo.
People, yeah.
People got rich. That's success.
I mentioned this yesterday, but Felix Biederman of Chapo said, well, this is embarrassing. Just yesterday, I borrowed and spent $700 billion on the assumption that there'd be a domestic manufacturing boom. People specifically told me Jamie Dimon wouldn't, I'm not going to quote the rest of it. You can look it up.
Yeah. I mean, Jesse really has a point. The Democrats should stick to more substantive critiques of Donald Trump. Not, like his policies on trade, but maybe what color suit he's wearing or what he puts on a hot dog.
Also, this is a
Yeah, seriously. The things that matter, right? The things that matter. They're just glazing Trump, hoping he'll protect them from the leopards.
Constitutional scandal that should be used to hit every single Republican in the Senate. This is why you don't have a president, and also I guess Obama with the TPP, we kind of wanted the executive to do this, but this is why you don't have the executive do it, because that changes over so quickly that nobody's going to be investing in a factory on the thought that Trump is going to lead to a new manufacturing renaissance.
Oh yeah,
you need that in legislation.
This time around, when they realize they need stimulus checks to fix the economy, we'll just get a picture of Elon mooning us. True. Ah, man. What's the over-under that we're going to get another farmer bailout? But what's the over-under we're going to get a farmer bailout? Because, oh boy. Unless they're just going to, like, be left in the dirt. Left in the dust, I guess. I'll bet the over. The stimulus check will be in Dogecoin. Sweet. It's happening.
That we're going to do these tariffs that are in a smart way and also support the manufacturing with state investment.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show.
Sam, I already told you. I can't hit the subscribe button because then I'll unsubscribe from you. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? I can't subscribe to you because then I'll unsubscribe. Sam jump scare. You just hit it again to resubscribe. Yeah, like in perpetuity, I just continue to hit the subscribe button and hope that it lands on the subscribe every time I watch like a video. Yeah. I hit it 4 times just cause. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's an even number. Why not 5? Why not? No, that's not an even number. Why not 8 times?
So Jordan Peterson has kind of fallen off hard, man. He's got a little bit of Rogan syndrome and Bill Maher syndrome.
And thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that. I haven't heard of Jordan Peterson in quite a while, and I think that's a good thing. But he's still there, apparently.
Just washed. He just seems washed to me. So, I mean, look, part of that might be because, you know, the Daily Wire has been going through some rough times. There was reporting that they hired bankruptcy lawyers and they're letting some people go. And
is the Daily Wire starting to fall apart? Because if so, like, that's actually hilarious. Kyle looking like a Giga Chat every day. Here we go again.
You know, you got the rise of figures on the right like Candace Owens and like Nick Fuentes, like the far right. And I don't know, just the Daily Wire,
Supposedly, I hope
Peterson-esque
so.
conservatism seems to be on the way out. They tried to put like an intellectual veneer over Trumpism. But now with Trump...
I hope so. Apparently they're going bankrupt and they have investors. So the investors are like piecing out. I don't know.
Actually having power and being the worst president of all time, I really think a lot of air's coming out of that bubble. Where people, like, a lot of people are realizing, like, holy shit, this is actually fucking horrible. And all those people who were making these highfalutin arguments pretending like he's gonna save civilization, like, they're obviously fucking wrong. They look fucking stupid, right? So, look, Peterson's had his struggles in the past, but he was a huge, huge figure online. And he started out as, like, the self-help guy and, you know, clean your room, wipe your ass, shut the fuck up, don't be too annoying, etc. Kind of ironic, because his room is a mess and he clearly is not all there. But look at this. He went on Piers Morgan's show and...
Jesus, man. Jesus.
This is just bizarre, bro. This is just bizarre here. In fact, I don't know, man. I'm almost convinced that they put a filter on this to make him look redder than he is, because this homie has turned into a lobster. I know he does the whole spiel about, like, you know, he does this whole lobster thing. He looks like a lobster here. But I don't know, maybe it's not fake, because as you're about to see, this is a minute and 55 seconds of incoherent babble where he's literally crying over nothing.
Oh boy. Even if Quintez saying liberals are right about Trump, yeah, but like for what reason, right? Like the reason as to why is important. Like, you know what I mean? The coloring makes him literally look demonic or like living leather. I mean, he's literally like oh my god, I can't remember. It's escaping me. It's Red Skull from Captain America, whom he cried about being compared to, by the way, but here he is, looking like literal Red Skull. As someone who did a lot of drugs for many years, at least I never turned into a far-right grifter. And I never turned red. Points. That's bonus points right there. It's just his face. Look at his fingers. True. Yeah, he's on that carnivore diet too. Yep. Red Skull was a UN villain, a fun villain. And I think was a apt comparison. Didn't they make like a comic book version of Red Skull that was based off Peterson, and that's why he was crying? That's why like he also was crying about this. Also, after 6 years, clean, nice. Red Skull was a Nazi, and if the shoe fits, yep.
To Piers Morgan's face, watch this.
Because if you tell the truth, what should happen as a consequence of the truth makes itself manifest in the world. And that's the best possible outcome. But it's also the most adventurous thing that you can do, the most exciting thing you can do, hands down. There's nothing that compares to it. What? That pathway of maximal responsibility, voluntary responsibility, and truth. And I understand that deeply at a religious level.
I got nothing. I got nothing, chat. Mousander, welcome. Covered in praise green, not red. He's so broken. Yep. Why is he... I don't know. I don't know. He's trying to copy Trump's tan, but he forgot the bronzer. Of what? He spoke so slow, and I still didn't understand what the F he said. I got nothing. I'm sorry. I got nothing, chat. Where's Piers when you want him to interrupt?
I understand that that's the symbolic world on which our productive and peaceful culture was properly founded.
What is wrong with this man? Like, what is going on? I almost feel bad making fun of this because he seems like he's back going through some sort of psychological episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might have some serious mental issues. And I like how Piers Morgan has to sit there like this is normal. Like, are you crying about the notion of telling the truth?
I don't know. Like, I literally did not understand that, like, stream of consciousness of just, like, they were words. Those were words that were coming out of his mouth. But that's as far as we got. He's probably got nothing either, Piers. Is that RFK Jr.? Nope, that's what I thought at the thumbnail, but it's not. It's Jordan Peterson.
Why would that make anybody cry? That's like the most basic advice of all time. Like, hey, don't be a lying asshole. Okay. Like, everybody hears that.
Looks like a Redskin version of Al Johnson. Is he trying to offend Native Americans? No, he's just not well.
And they go, yeah, no shit. Thank you. And this is the same spiel he's been given for, shit, when did he first come onto the public scene? I don't know. Nearly a decade. This is the same fucking thing he's been saying the whole time. And why are you crying? Why are you crying?
And I've seen the effect of communicating that to people, thousands of people. And it's a great privilege to serve that role. But
look, Piers Morgan is definitely uncomfortable. Keep your eye on Piers Morgan.
It's also overwhelming.
What?
You know, I think it is one of the things that made me, I was ill for quite a long time.
I still got nothing. I have no idea what he's talking about. Like, I'm sorry, I just have no idea what he's talking about. And, like, the fact that he's still being brought on, like, TV, like, I just don't know. JP was diagnosed with a form of schizophrenia over 30 years ago. He refused any treatment. And Pierre's egged him on to start crying. Why is he? I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. There's no crying in baseball. I'm getting uncomfortable just watching from home. I seriously don't know what's going on right now. Winnie Rose, welcome.
He's good now, though. Oh my God, bro.
And I think that was part of the reason, just seeing this, like this malaise so deep. And that's also so easily addressed in a sense. You know, it's that paradoxical combination of depth of suffering and ease of rectification. You know, and I kind of...
Paradoxicals of... What? What is he talking about? He's having an episode? Clearly. I genuinely don't know what he is talking about. I still don't know. Oh, this is what you're trying to send me?
Flo Gogurt.
Allow me to put this into simpler terms. So the necromancer, he's got a tower, a long tower, primarily constructed of bone. And on one side, you got sorcerers, metallurgists, bone sorcerers, and ghost wizards.
This is actually like more coherent. This is actually more coherent than what we're actually listening to from the actual Jordan Peterson. Ambien is a hell of a drug.
Sure, yeah.
And there's a huge difference between shadowmancers and shadow slingers. And people don't like to draw the distinction between the two, but it's extremely important to keep context in mind.
I actually understand this more than the actual Jordan Peterson. I just got here confused. We're all confused, okay? We're all confused as to what's going on here. So we're just gonna make fun of Jordan Peterson.
Right.
So it's like, if I'm a warlock, and so the necromancer's all the way at the tippy top.
Okay.
He's over here. He's over here in his tower. Galatrax is over here, and he's raising a skeleton army. And it's important to look at. So there's a hierarchy to the bone army. It's hierarchical. And all the way down here, you go.
He almost broke character. I'm actually all for men showing they can cry publicly, but it really doesn't fit his image. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not that he's crying. It's just that, like, I have yet to understand what is happening, to be quite honest. Peterson said words, we don't know what they mean yet.
The Bone Boys, and then you've got the Crazy Bones and the Femur Fiends, and they're all under the umbrella of the Skele Snakes.
Oh.
But see, they're not the ones who hold the real power here, no.
Oh.
Because Galatrax, he's got the Book of Spells. He's got the Tome of Whispers.
Interesting.
And it's like, unless you've got a silver shield, good luck venturing through Blightwood Barrow. Good luck trekking through the Bog Witch's Swamp.
Yeah, that reminds me.
And above all this, there's this portal just ripping open above the territories of Skeend.
I mean,
and now,
by the way, this actually makes I completely understand what he's talking about. Okay? The fake JP makes more sense than the real one. I'm serious. Like, I actually follow this parody of Jordan Peterson. I'm with him, man. Look, I'm with him. Okay. When you've got when you're facing a warlock and a skeleton army, look, I get it. Okay, I get it.
Pops Galatrax, orb in hand. Remember Galatrax, he's there.
Okay, yeah.
And at this point, everyone's out of mana, leaving his bone boys completely free to suck the magic powders from the sacred soil.
Yeah, it's very D&D.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you kind of lost me there. That represents, like, for capitalism, masculinity. I don't.
So, the Ghost Wizard.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is totally on point. He's talking about a boss fight. I mean, like, this is completely like more understandable, right? From the perspective of like a D&D, a D&D, not match. What would you call it? Quest? A D&D? Is that what you would call it? Sorry, I'm not a big D&D player. Trying to make sense of JP is like trying to use the dictionary to help with math. The vocabulary is always in the wrong context. Also, he doesn't cry at normal times either. Yeah, D&D encounter. There you go. Tuesday in it. Welcome, Globus.
I understood what the conservatives have done wrong all along. You know, they tend to moralize in a finger-wagging way. You know, you should do this, you should do that. And there's truth in that, you know, that imposition of mature structure on immature hedonism and disunion and disorientation.
What is he talking about, man? Please.
If you don't cut him off, he will not shut the fuck up. So I like this comment. This is the ultimate Peterson clip. Everything is there. Grandiose claims about how mythically important his message is, insane hand gestures, weeping throughout, lobster red skin, absolutely perfect. I'm going to ask you guys, what the fuck is going on with Jordan right now?
I don't know,
What's
man.
going on?
You tell
me. Is he
me.
back on the sauce? I don't know. Is he back on the sauce? Is it untreated mental illness? Is there something going on in his private life? But he does not look good, bro. He does not look good. And look, maybe this is controversial. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But you shouldn't
be just vanilla Kanye.
be taking advice from somebody that's this unstable. You just shouldn't. You just shouldn't. Right? You just shouldn't. If somebody looks this unstable,
like, get help, man. Like, no, like, unironically, like, get help. Seriously. It's probably his meat diet. I don't have no idea. Yeah, a mix of several different things. He probably needs to get back on the benzos. Untreated mental illness plus probably others, but there are often symptoms as well as triggers. Yeah, I mean, like, he is not okay. And, like, genuinely, like, he needs help. Okay? Piers is using George as a lol cow. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, like, Piers gets used as a lol cow, like, very often, so I guess, you know. Man has money, stop working and get help. Yes.
That's a sign. Like, they look like that for a reason. Maybe they're a little bit of a mess. And then again, like, bro, it's 2025. Trump is threatening war with Greenland and Denmark and Panama and Canada and Mexico and Iran, and he just bombed Yemen the other day and bombed Somalia. They're shipping people off to a slave labor camp in El Salvador with no due process whatsoever. He's tanking the economy with a fucking trade war. And your contribution to the political conversation is, oh, I think you should tell the truth. Telling the truth is good, and it's actually, I understand that from a religious perspective.
But like, I'm sorry, I missed that point. Like, if his point in that entire like stream of consciousness was like just tell the truth, bro, I'm sorry. Like it wasn't. I just didn't get it. Okay, like I seriously did not get it. But okay.
I don't know why my Peterson voice got weirder and weirder as I went on. But, like, yeah, we know. Tell the truth. By the way, if you actually believed in that and held to that core value, you wouldn't be on the right with all the fucking shameless liars. Endlessly lying about fucking everything.
Because he is one too. He's trying to do the weave and failing.
Non-stop. We just covered the story. Trump and Bukele in the White House pretending like the Supreme Court ruled with Trump and is letting him fucking illegally.
I've heard that diatribe 3 times and I didn't get it. It beats me because I didn't either. I don't know like what superpower Kyle here has that he was able to extrapolate. Like, oh, he's just making the point of like telling the truth is important, because I didn't get it. From an American without healthcare, I find it infuriating when rich people refuse to use their resources to help themselves rather than serving their unchecked, unhinged ego. True.
Deport people to a slave labor camp when that's not true at all. All these people do is fucking lie. Trump told over 30,000 lies in his first term, and this guy is in with all the Trump supporters. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? We need a new, the right-wing intellectuals are not sending their best, y'all. They are not sending your best.
Well, right-wing and intellectuals, I mean, to be fair, Kyle could be making shit up, and I couldn't challenge him. Like every right-wing streamer I see has bookshelves of manly stuff, but everyone grounded in reality uses the bookshelf for, like, I don't know, books. Yeah, true. As it turns out, I do have bookshelves, and they are full of books. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I do actually have one IKEA bookshelf that has Magic the Gathering, okay? Magic the Gathering cards, so yeah. Not all my bookshelves are full of books, okay? I have one bookshelf that has Magic the Gathering. I apologize.
This is hard to fucking watch. This is hard to watch. When I first saw it, I was like, this got to be like AI or something, or there's like a filter on something, man. I haven't watched the full clip. I shudder at going to watch the full clip. Lord only knows what the fuck else happens in this. But if you're crying over your advice to tell the truth, can you make any point without fucking breaking down? How are you going to talk about geopolitics if you can't fucking get through a statement of, hey, tell the truth without blubbering?
I mean, get help, bro. That's it. That's the story. Describing as schizophrenic are really more sense without them as a cipher to explain it. Top shelf is always ornamental. No one wants to reach up there. True. I just had a craving for a deli sub with oil and vinegar. Oh, here comes the food talk.
For nothing.
Oof. Oof.
All right.
I hear that.
Washed.
I hear that.
All the right-wing heroes fall.
Spaghetti? Oof. Oof. That smells good. That sounds good.
After
Look
the
at me.
Other after the other. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop.
Jesus. I never liked Russell Brand anyway. Now it doesn't have to be for his generally irritating nature. Oh, yeah. Russell Brand has always been a creep, okay? Like, this is before he decided to, like, go into politics or whatever. Like, he's always been weird. He's always given that vibe. I got some grapes. Nice. Chicken Alfredo. Oof. Nice. Chicken cheesesteak hoagie. Nice. A grifter? Russell is always a grifter. Yep. Some excellent choices there in chat for food. So let's just get down to brass tacks here, because I just want to finish this, these important stuff. Grilled, Firefly, welcome. Grilled seasoned salmon with brown rice and broccoli. Oof. Nice. I made breakfast burrito tonight, but now I'm hungry again. Ha! Breakfast burritos are good too. I mean, y'all are bringing like the creme of the, like, I would eat like 99% of chat's menu selection over here. Maryland senator requests meeting with El Salvadorian president to discuss Kilmar Abrego Garcia, man mistakenly deported from the U.S. Maryland Senator Chris Holland has requested a meeting with President Nayib Bukele during his visit to the United States to discuss the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a Maryland man who was wrongly deported. In a letter, Van Hollen said he urgently wants to meet with Bukele. If that can't happen, Holland said he's prepared to go to El Salvador if Abrego Garcia is not returned to the United States. I understand that the Attorney General said we would provide a plane to bring him home, so all the president of El Salvador has to do now is hand him over and release an innocent man and let him come home to his family. Van Hollen's, yeah, but like his, the president said that he's a terrorist. He's not letting him go. So yeah. Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia should have never been abducted and illegally deported. True, and the courts have made it clear the administration must bring him home. Now, however, since the Trump administration appears to be ignoring court mandates, we need to take additional action. That's why I've requested to meet with President Bukele during his trip to the United States. If Kilmar is not home by midweek, I plan to travel to El Salvador to check on his condition and discuss his release. In the letter, Van Hollen said he has met with Abrego Garcia's wife, his mother, and brother, who said they're extremely worried about his health and safety. My objective would be to make it clear to the people of the United States, people in Maryland, that his family are not forgetting him, locked away illegally in one of the most notorious concentration camps in El Salvador. So it would be to continue to make sure that we focus on his health and well-being and his release back to his family until that happens. U.S. leaders in El Salvador reported Saturday that Abrego Garcia is alive and secure. He's being held at the concentration camp known as CCOT, where the U.S. has already sent more than 200 Venezuelan men accused of being in gangs. During a press conference, Van Hollen said Abrego Garcia should not spend one more day in El Salvador. It's absolutely unjust and illegal to have this Marylander detained for one more day in a notorious concentration camp, said Van Hollen. During the visit to the Oval Office, Bukele said he won't return Abrego Garcia to the United States after Attorney General Bamonde said it's up to El Salvador, which, no, what are you talking about? Like, we're paying for this stuff. So, yeah. How can I return him to the United States? I can't smuggle him in, or what do I do? I'm not going to do it. The question is preposterous. Yeah, like, whatever, dude. So, yeah. Apparently, he is not the only one. He's not the only member of Congress that seems to want to take this trip to El Salvador. I would be weary about this because, like, El Salvador is not a safe place for someone like this. They should all be returned. Yes, 100%. Fox News is trying to make Garcia sound like a diehard villain. Yeah. There's a handful of Democrats going, yeah, and like that's scary, man, because like they could just they could they could just be imprisoned, redacted. I mean, like, if they go, they should be very, very well protected. They've called me a terrorist at times with probably 100 times more evidence. Yeah, he's too brown to be released. His family definitely should be laying lawsuits while the U.S. has some kind of functioning justice system still, because it's breaking apart fast at the moment from my position of observation. Yeah, that's very generous way of putting it. The prisons there are not safe for almost anyone. The answer about smuggling him in is actually two-sided. It was a passive-aggressive way of saying the U.S. doesn't want him, like it's a Trump issue and not El Salvador. Yeah, that's a good point. It is terrifying. Whoa! Good night and be safe. Thank you for stopping by, Sammy. Appreciate it. Despite a court order, the White House bars AP from the Oval Office event. Despite a court order, a reporter and photographer from the AP were barred from the Oval Office news conference on Monday with President Trump and his counterpart, Bukele. Last week's federal court decision forbidding Trump from punishing the AP for refusing to rename the Gulf of Mexico was to take effect on Monday. The administration is appealing the decision and arguing with the news outlet over whether it needs to change anything until those appeals are exhausted. The U.S. Court of Appeals of D.C. Circuit set a Thursday hearing on Trump's request that any changes be delayed while the case is reviewed. The AP is fighting for more access as soon as possible. Later Monday, 2 AP photographers were admitted into the honoring of Ohio State's championship football team on the more spacious South Lawn. A reporter was turned away. Since mid-February, AP reporters and photographers have been blocked from attending events in the Oval Office, where President Trump frequently addresses journalists, and on Air Force One. The AP has been seen sporadic access elsewhere and regularly covers White House Press Secretary Karen Leavitt's briefings. Leavitt is one of 3 administration officials named in the lawsuit. Saw and exiled people to Siberia. Trump is modeling himself after a commie. He's not. He's modeling himself after a fascist. This is very, very, like, one-to-one, like, fascism. The AP should just get in as far as they can and record the sounds true. The dispute stems from AP's decision not to follow the president's executive order to rename the Gulf of Mexico, although AP style does cite Trump's wish that it be called the Gulf of America. The AP argued, and the district judge Trevor McFadden agreed last week, that the government cannot punish a news organization for exercising its right to free speech. I mean, like, that's it. Like, period. Like, full stop. Like, the fact that this is even in court is absurd. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and this is just, like, another little piece of the puzzle of, like, just how far we're in when it comes to fascism. Nazi officials established the first concentration camp, Dachau, in March of 22nd of 1933 for political prisoners. It was later used as a model. Yep. I know people hate us making the Nazi comparisons, but in my opinion, it's not an outlandish claim. No, it's not. And, like, this is like the Cassandra syndrome, okay? Like, don't be ashamed of that. Like, because that's what's happening, okay? Like, that's the Cassandra syndrome that we're experiencing right now. Like, we've been saying this crap for years. Like, hey man, history is quite clear as to how this works. It's happening. the path that we're taking is one that leads to very, very dark places. It doesn't mean that it's going to end in death camps, but we're heading in that direction, and we need to get off that path now, because we're already at the establishing concentration camps part of it. So I mean, like, you know, there was a good 7 years where it was just the left that they were locking up. Does our military have an Order 66 when they've been indoctrinated with, like, Star Wars? No, I don't know. I doubt it. I don't know. But the military does have a duty to the Constitution against enemies, foreign and domestic. Also, the military has a duty not to disregard unlawful orders, and so boiling frog situation. Yeah, I mean, really, it is. Trump looking into the legality of deporting U.S. citizens to foreign prisons. Like I said, it's happening. Okay, it's freaking happening. This is no longer like a hypothetical. This is no longer outrageous comparison. This is no longer like, oh, exaggerated, bombastic reporting. Like, no, this is happening. You know, like that man, what is that movie called? The Transformers meme, okay? The Transformers meme. This is it.
Hey, you wanted this, right? You wanted the real deal? That's what this is. Wake up, you're in the middle of it. You want to run? Go ahead. No one's stopping you. Stop complaining.
Yeah. Like, wake up. This is it. It's happening. We're in the middle of it. President Trump is exploring whether he can legally deport. He can't. Okay, like, there's nothing to explore here. Like, it's literally explicitly unconstitutional, but okay. To concentration camps in Central America, like, you know, El Salvador. It's another question that the president has raised. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said, when asked if Trump currently has the power to send Americans to foreign prisons or would need to change the law to do so. He does not. He does not. Sorry, I've been distracted talking about housing and moving this summer. It's a legal question that the president is looking into. She said Trump would only consider if legal, like he cares, for Americans who are the most violent, egregious, repeat offenders of crimes. And nobody wants in this room wants living in their community. So, like, I mean, again, he said that this guy who's never had a criminal record, was a terrorist. They literally lied about this. So, yeah, they would need to change the law, the Constitution. But yeah, Trump isn't exactly known for following the letter of the law. Just do it. That's the other meme. Asked to explain the administration's view of the law, Leavitt said, "We're looking at it, and when I have more to share, I certainly will. The Trump administration has already deported more than 200 alleged foreign citizen gang members of the United States to El Salvador, where they are in prison. They're in a concentration camp. Okay, like, yeah. I think at this time, like, we should just like stop calling it a prison, because like it's not a prison, it's a concentration camp. It's not a prison. Trump on Monday said he would like to send homegrown criminals to a concentration camp in El Salvador, where the U.S. has deported some non-citizens. The Trump administration officials told reporters in the Oval Office that they would not compel El Salvador to return Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was deported from the U.S. to his native country as a result of an administrative error. El Salvador President Bukele, who was seated next to Trump during the press event, said he would not release Abrego Garcia, who the U.S. alleges is a member of MS-13. It's not true. Abrego's lawyers deny that he belongs to the gang. The U.S. Supreme Court last week upheld a federal court district court's judge order that the Trump administration facilitate the release of Abrego Garcia, which openly they are defying right now as we speak. I can't stand this. No one should, but here we are. We're living in the middle of it. Like, none of this is acceptable. None of this is normal. None of this is okay. So we've got an update in this here, and it's just bad. It's just bad. That CCOT or whatever is forced labor. Yep, it's literally a concentration camp. Yeah. I'll tell I said I'm a member of the baseball field so I can get a free ride out of here. No, you'll get a free ride into a concentration camp. None of those men have federal convictions. None. Yep. Judge launches inquiry into Trump administration's refusal to seek return of wrongly deported man. To date, what the record shows is nothing has been done, said the judge. So again, like, this was the meeting. This was the result from the meeting earlier today at 4 p.m. A federal judge had ordered an intense 2-week inquiry into the Trump administration's refusal to seek the return of a man who's wrongly deported. To date, what the record shows is that nothing has been done. Zinnis's order sets up a high-stakes sprint that may force senior Trump administration officials to testify under oath about their response to court orders requiring them to facilitate the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia to the United States. Each day that passes, the judge noted, is another day Abrego Garcia spends improperly detained in a maximum security concentration camp. We're going to move. There will be no tolerance for gameship or grandstanding, the judge said. There are no business hours while we do this. Cancel vacations, cancel other appointments. I'm pretty usually good about things like that in my court, but not this time. So I expect all hands on deck. Zinnis's inquiry is the latest chapter in the escalating clash between the executive and judicial branches over Abrego Garcia's illegal deportation. Zinnis previously ordered the administration to facilitate the release from the custody of El Salvador, and the Supreme Court upheld that directive last week. Immigration and Homeland Security officials have acknowledged that they sent Abrego Garcia to El Salvador erroneously in violation of a 2019 order that barred the government from deporting him there because of the risk that he could be targeted by local gang. The administration has apparently taken no concrete steps to bring him back. Instead, the Trump administration officials have claimed they have no power to do so. Zinnis is calling that refusal stunning, even as she agreed there's a legitimate legal debate about her own power to order the U.S. officials to make a direct request to the Salvadorian counterparts. This is about due process. So, like, I mean, like, that's what fundamentally this fight is about. That's what this is about. A written order granting expedited discovery, Zinnis said 4 senior officials from the Department of Homeland Security and Department of State will have to sit for depositions by April 23rd, essentially out-of-court interviews in which the officials will have to answer questions under oath from Abrego Garcia's lawyers. Those officials include Joseph Mazzara, the acting general counsel at the Gestapo, and Michael Kozak, the senior official at the State Department's Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs. Zinnis' discovery order also allows Abrego Garcia's lawyers to pursue additional fact-finding steps, including asking the government for relevant documents about the case. Justice Department Attorney Drew Ensing argued that the joint appearance in the Oval Office Monday by President Donald Trump and Bukele demonstrated that the issue has been raised with the highest authority in that country, and there's no hope of getting Abrego Garcia back. Like, okay, dudes, whatever, man. This is so disgusting. I'm putting my English degree to use finally. What about the other 200 men? Unclear, but if Abrego Garcia is able, if they can successfully argue and set the precedent like that someone like Abrego Garcia needs to be returned, then like that means that all these other people need to be returned. That's why this case is important. Our country is a nightmare. That's true. We already had 25% of the world's prisoners before the Orange Count decided to increase it. Zinnes noted that Bukele's comments came in response to a question from a journalist, not a U.S. official. She also scoffed at Bukele's dismissive comment that he could not smuggle Abrego Garcia back into the U.S. The judge called Bukele's answer non-responsive as a legal matter. Yeah. I mean, like, this is so ridiculous. Two immigration courts determined that he's a member of MS-13. That's actually not true. Go fuck yourself. Like, that's not a thing that happened. The Justice Department, the Trump administration's decision to lead on that exchange, she said, underscored the need for her to press for sworn testimony and more facts. The Justice Department appears likely to throw up a series of legal obstacles to the depositions, including claims of confidentiality for the executive branch, discussions, and legal advice. Ensing objected to any fact-finding by the court and asked Zinnes to give the administration time to appeal her interpretation of the scope of the U.S. government's obligation. I mean, like, that's just so freaking disgusting, man. To even, like, think that the administration is correct here in any sense of the word. However, Zinnes, I'm staying on maggots for a few days, and the stuff they have on loop on Fox is sickening. Yeah. I mean, God bless for even being able to stomach that. If the government had that kind of info, you would think it would be have been on a rap sheet instead of wearing a Chicago Bulls shirt. I mean, that's literally why they roped them up. Like, that's the evidence. That's the extent of the evidence against Abrego Garcia. I'm cleaving as closely as one can to cleave to the Supreme Court, the judge told Ensing. There is, in my view, nothing to appeal. Now we get to the facts. Abrego Garcia, a native of El Salvador, entered the U.S. without authorization around 2011 when he was 16. He was fleeing gang violence. His lawyers say before being deported last month, he was living in Maryland with his wife and children, all U.S. citizens. He has no criminal record and was employed as a sheet metal worker. So, yeah. The Trump administration has contended that he is, if we were invaded by an army, each and every soldier doesn't get a trial. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get out of here, you disgusting piece of shit. Like, you disgust me, okay? Like, you genuinely disgust me. Get out of here. You genuinely disgust me. Like, people like you genuinely disgust me. U.S. Government recognized MS-13 as official armed forces? No, that's not true. Like that, yeah. Like I thought if you marry a citizen, you can get citizenship. I guess that's not always the case. No, you have to go through like a process. Also, MS-13 is like. Also, MS-13 is from the United States. Like. You disgusting. Like, it's not even like. That is charitable, okay? Calling you a disgusting human being is being charitable, okay? Like, seriously. People like you, okay? People like you, history will not look kindly on you, okay? If you're still listening, okay, because you're not going to be allowed to chat. If you're still listening, people like you will not be looked kindly when this is all said and done, okay? And your kids, if you have kids, or if your family, like brothers or sisters or any generation, okay, is gonna look at you in disgust, okay? It got bad in El Salvador because we deported our gang members back there. Yeah, MS-13 is U.S. made. Are you saying MS-13 is the arm of the U.S. military? I mean, by that logic. But yeah, like, it's disgusting, okay? Like, people like you disgust me, and history will not look kindly on you, okay? The Trump administration has contended that he's a member of the violent Salvadorian gang MS-13, which, again, originated here. Citing immigration court proceedings from 2019, Zinnes called the evidence of any gang affiliation extraordinarily flimsy. It amounted to a tip from a confidential informant and the fact that Garcia wore a Chicago Bulls attire. Like, this is not up for debate. This is literally what's happening in the court proceedings. So, like, yeah. It's just so disgusting. It's so disgusting that, like, anyone would even make that comment. And Air Jordans. Terry Taylor, thank you for the follow. On Tuesday, the White House escalated its rhetoric about Abrego Garcia. The White House press secretary, Karen Levitt, accused Garcia of being engaged in human trafficking. Again, zero evidence of this, making shit up, even though he's never been charged with a crime and no evidence has been publicly disclosed to support that allegation. Levitt also mocked the press coverage of that case, saying reporters were suggesting that he should be nominated for Father of the Year. I say on TYT chat ages ago, why Jorgen usually talks to Bad Lefty? I only used it in an MR to say I love Jim Brewer, but now the real Lefty does that. Jim Brewer? On Tuesday, the administration revealed a new it puts away his Scottie Pippen t-shirt. Yeah, what's next? You know? Badass clips of you on the Discord. And now? Oh, hey. That's awesome. If Abrego Garcia was released from El Salvador and sent back to the United States, Also on Tuesday, administration revealed a new position about what it would do if Abrego Garcia was released from El Salvador prison and sent back to the United States. Mazara, the Gestapo's acting general counsel, said in court, filing moments before the U.S. government would immediately detain Abrego Garcia again. The government would then deport him to another country or seek to terminate the 2019 order that barred his deportation to El Salvador. Again, like, this is already admitting that he had a court order that barred his deportation. Like, this is already, like, admitting that he had an order to not be deported. Like, this is not up for debate. A lawyer for Abrego Garcia, Reina Gandhi, told Zinnes that the Trump administration is stonewalling in the face of clear court orders to facilitate her client's return. The government has not even unambiguously requested his return. Gandhi said, adding, the U.S. frequently makes such entreaties in immigration cases. The U.S. government routinely seeks return by taking low-level actions outside the U.S. that do not implicate foreign policy. Yeah. Yeah, go boy Brewer. They'll probably be like, "Oh, you have a blue piece of clothing, gang. Red piece of clothing, gang. A sports, t-shirt, gang. Tattoo, gang." Yeah, brown skin, gang. Military contractors pitch unprecedented prison plan for detained migrants. So, yeah. That's cool. Former Blackwater CEO Eric Prince and a team of defense contractors are pitching the White House on a plan to vastly expand deportations to El Salvador, transporting thousands of immigrants from U.S. holding facilities to a sprawling maximum security concentration camp in Central America. The proposal, exclusively obtained by Politico, said it would target criminal illegal aliens, and would attempt to avoid legal challenges by designating part of the prison, which has been drawn accusations of violence and overcrowding, as an American territory. So there you go. Hey, no problem. We'll just make it another Gitmo. And then we can send that's the pretense. There it is. You designate this as American land, and you can send American citizens there. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, good. I was wondering what Eric Prince was up to. It's unclear how seriously the White House is considering this plan by Prince, who has drawn scrutiny for his firm's role in a deadly massacre in Iraq 2 decades ago, but it would give Prince's group an unprecedented and potentially highly lucrative role in expanding the version of a transnational human trafficking operation that has elicited its own web of controversies, in part because it swept up immigrants who do not have criminal records. Yeah, that easy. The group had multiple calls with the administration officials, and the ideas laid out in the proposals are likely to be a top subject in bilateral meetings with El Salvador at the White House next week, according to 2 people. Oh, this is a little bit before that. With the Prince proposal, an administration official granted anonymity to discuss information that are not yet previously made public. The administration officials have already discussed the idea of U.S. owning some of the prison's complex, the administration official said, adding that the White House continues to weigh a number of options and the plan would be in line with the goal of getting dangerous people as far away from the continental U.S. as possible. Those for decades considered a form of discrimination if you could prove you were arrested via profile. You tended to be able to have charges dismissed for incorrect procedures. Yeah, but none of that matters, right? Like, the Constitution doesn't really matter now at this point. So, yeah. The administration officials also said they expect the proposal to be discussed during El Salvador President Bukele's visit to the White House, which happened when he's planning to meet with President Trump. The proposal ultimately put Prince in charge of an extraordinary privatization effort that would use his company to handle logistics, including ferrying tens of thousands of detainees from American holding cells to El Salvador's concentration camp. An LLC called 2 USB was registered in Wyoming on Wednesday, an indication that Prince's group is hoping to move on a more serious phase of pitching the White House. Prince and the White House have declined to comment. It's Prince's latest bid to seek government contracts as the Trump administration continues to face legal and logistical headwinds in its effort to rapidly deport undocumented immigrants. And it comes just after months after former Blackwater CEO pitched the White House on an expansive plan to outsource the president's mass deportation campaign, a proposal first reported by Politico. Now Prince has zeroed in on a narrow target. Further evidence that the administration's desire to make good on the president's signature campaign promise has created an opening for private contractors who see potential profits in, dude, this is like Nazi shit, man. This is like Nazi shit. This is literally just like Nazi shit. the billionaires finally make rail possible for this? I stopped believing in Santa at 5. This contract will not only solve the legal issues pertaining to removing criminal aliens, it will enhance the government's capability to locate, capture, detain, and deport aliens. And incidentally, again, this lays down the groundwork, because if this is American territory, then that means American citizens can be deported. Yeah. Everyone ready for April 20th? No, I'm not, Wolfglen. I gotta be honest. Once again, thank you for your generosity. I appreciate that. If the immigrant does not have a deportation order, 2 USV will facilitate a hearing before an immigration judge to adjudicate any pending asylum claim. The group also said it will work with prosecutors to make deals with incarcerated individuals whereby some of their prison sentences will be waived in exchange for granting the deportation order. So I mean, like, this is just sick. The letter states that the prison complex can hold up to 40,000 criminals immediately, with the possibility of housing up to 100,000 in the near future. Prince began discussions with El Salvador last year before Trump was elected, and first floated the idea of using their prisons for migrants, according to one of the people familiar with the matter. Those talks apparently accelerated after the election, according to the letter, which states that he proposed his commercial terms with the prince before Secretary of Marco Rubio visited El Salvador. I'm looking forward to a 3-day weekend. Does that count? Yeah. I think the administration's gearing up to declare the Insurrection Act. I mean, that's the presumed next step. I agree. We do need you around, Quinlaw. But the solutions outlined in the proposal may not fully resolve the legal questions surrounding Trump's use of Alien Enemies Act, which the president invoked in March to deport hundreds of Venezuelans. The Supreme Court on Monday lifted a temporary block, yada, yada, yada. So, I mean, like, yeah, this is pretty much, like, where we're heading. I mean, I can't... If you say the word crikey, we know it's you. True. I mean, like, this is where it's heading, right? Alright, folks, I gotta get out of here. It's just over 7:30. And I gotta get some food. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. Thank you. If you want to support the channel and continue supporting the channel, make sure you like the stream, subscribe. A couple of you did so today. I appreciate that. If you're on the Twitch side, keep liking or keep following us here on Twitch. 2,584 of you have liked us here on Twitch. That's amazing. Thank you guys. So keep it up, and the YouTube crew, keep it up. Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you. NSE, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the Prime subscription. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Terry Taylor, for the follow. Omega Star for the subscription. I appreciate it. Thank you all. Thank you, Bad Lefty. Appreciate that. Okay, chat, we're going to Left Reckoning. Go for it. Thank you, Looney Tunes. I appreciate it. Thank you, Winnie Rose. Appreciate it. Ground Level News. Thank you. Hey, folks, if you haven't done so already, I saw Globus in chat earlier. Please go check out Globus the Elder on Twitch. Appreciate it. No, thank you, Mona. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Heat. Thank you, Michael Hassler, for modding the chat. I appreciate you guys. We'll be back tomorrow at around 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Spread the word. Spread the word far and wide. That's one of the best ways of supporting the channel. Thank you for your support. You guys are what makes this channel grow. If you want to support the channel directly, consider checking out the merch store, the !tip. Join the Discord if you want to keep up with the channel. We also do movie events. This weekend, I might be able to do one. If not, then the following weekend. One of those weekends, we'll come up with another movie event. There's also some cool people on the Discord. Appreciate it. Hey, Globus. Yes, go follow Globus. Please. Thank you. As always, folks, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. See ya.
That I wasn't really anywhere, and no one left to be. That train that I was on was all I shining sea. Don't believe it if you please.
All right, folks, we're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.